Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Let me just get the countdown started, and I will see you guys in 30 seconds. Oh. Hello. Let me know that you guys can all hear me. I think I'm having... Okay. Hello. Okay. So I wanted to check my poll, and then I ended up playing my own live, which is, I don't know, like Inception or something. So on the community tab, so far, 64% responding say they have a overall negative opinion about all of the subscriber content that is coming from the Brown family. Now, I have different thoughts about, oh, thank you. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it just did not curl my hair today. It was just not a day. Not a day to do that. So I hope this doesn't accidentally play. It looks like on the YouTube poll, we're at 68% like it. So interesting. I'll leave that going for a little bit. That's the first time I've ever done a poll. So overall, my thoughts are, and obviously as like a content creator myself, I am not going to knock anyone's hustle. Like, you do you. If you are providing a service and you're upfront and honest about what that service is, so you're delivering on what you said you were going to do, then I have absolutely no problem philosophically with subscriber content, right? Where you get into the weeds a little bit is sometimes different content creators might underdeliver, they might overpromise and underdeliver. It might be misrepresented what the content actually is. Who knows? That so far does not look like it applies to any of the Brown family members. I subscribe to Gwen and McKelty's Patreons. I don't subscribe to Christine's Instagram. Pardon me. And I certainly not paying to go to Mary's retreat because, I have a kid and one on the way, and just the disposable income does not floweth quite like that. So philosophically, I have no problem with subscriber content, and especially for the kids, for like McKelty and Gwen, they did not have a choice in signing up for this TV show. So if there is a demand that they see and people are willing to pay for the content that they're producing and it's represented truthfully, then I have absolutely no problem with it. Now, maybe it's not the piping hot tea someone would expect, who knows? But they're McKelty, certainly on her Patreon, they are posting recipes. She's sitting down with her siblings. They're doing live reactions. I just saw a post that said They're going to be sitting down with Aspen, which I think is going to be really interesting because Aspen has been one of the quieter kids that have she's kind of gotten married and kind of been doing her own thing. So she hasn't been super involved in the drama. So I'm excited to hear from her. Do you mean you don't have a spare 10K sitting around to go worship at Mary's feet? No. And actually, I was just catching up on Below Deck, and my husband and I were, laughing at the fact that, they give these like $20,000 tips at the end of the weekend. And this last episode, it was considered like a really stingy tip, like they were bad tippers. And I was like, if only I had that kind of money to be like 20,000 is a bad tip. I realized that whole renting a super yacht for a weekend is incredibly expensive, but my goodness, my goodness. So this is, I think, the crux of what I think is a little ridiculous. I guess I really don't have any other word for it. Is I feel like Mary's retreat is incredibly out of touch. I would have to agree with you there. Now, we didn't get any confirmation or denial that people paid to go on her retreat the last time. It looked like there was about 6 people or so, if I remember correctly, that attended. A lot of people, heavy speculation that it was LuLaRoe connected people, and who knows if they actually paid to attend. And I think that's a pretty fair speculation to ponder if those people actually paid to go. I think her best friend Jen was in some of the pictures, and Jen's child, and I highly doubt that they would have paid to go, but who knows. So who knows? And this is like, so for such a price tag, like you're talking $4,000 to $6,000 for such a price tag, to have one just a couple months later, if you're expecting like a return audience, that is ballsy. That is ballsy. Yeah, Mary's downline probably. Ooh, coffee buzz. Coffee sounds so good right now. Mary, I think she's desensitized to just the flow of money she's experienced with LuLaRoe. The startup costs astronomical when she joined. When she joined, the cheapest package was like $4,000. So I've noticed the pricing for her retreats are kind of in line with the startup costs for LuLaRoe back in the day. I know they've come down quite substantially, but even to like maintain inventory, you are shelling out a lot of money every month. I feel like Mary might just be a little bit out of touch with the disposable income that people really have. Like after you pay either your rent, your mortgage, all your different insurances, what have you, phone bills, electric bills, all these bills. If you have an extra $6,000, I would think that people would be begging you to spend it in a different way. Not sure why someone would want to spend money to spend time with her. Yeah, I mean, Mary has quite the loyal fandom or following. I don't know what you would call it, but the people that follow her are very dedicated to her. So, and yes, LuLaRoe was that much at the beginning. I knew a couple people personally that joined LuLaRoe and spent, I think, around like $6,000 or $7,000 to start. And they tell you, put it on a credit card, like don't worry about it. You're gonna you're gonna make that money 10 times over. Don't worry about it. But what is the Amazon documentary? Is it Lula Rich? That is a really good documentary that I would highly, highly recommend if you want to know the backstory. Because when I would purchase LuLaRoe, I didn't even really consider that it was an MLM, because nobody that I knew that was selling it was trying to recruit people into it. They were just selling it, and it was like they couldn't keep leggings and Irmas and whatever the shirts are called in fast enough. Like, things were flying off the shelves. Really fantastically printed leggings, and actually all of the clothes were kind of eccentrically printed. But all the people I knew were just selling. At least I thought they were just selling. They never tried to recruit me. I don't know. Maybe I didn't fit the stereotype of a LuLaRoe salesperson. I have no idea. I wonder what Mary's followers are called. I think they're called her downline. I don't know. That was just a joke. I loved the leggings too. I still have a pair. They fit me while I'm pregnant, and they're jammy. They're jammy leggings. I'm not going to lie, but they're solid color. They're navy blue. So they're not like too out there, but they are still comfortable. They are getting a hole in one of the seams, but they're several years old at this point. So I'm not trying to speak to the quality of the clothes or anything. I'm not a fan of MLM stuff, even though the sister wives and their kids are really into it. It must be very profitable. So here's the thing about MLMs. Some MLM products I actually like. Don't come for me. I got sucked into Rodan and Fields back in the day. I sold exactly one thing to one person, and I spent like $1,000, I think, to start up. This is the thing about MLMs, is the vast majority of people are going to lose money signing up to be an MLM business owner, opportunity person. The one product that I sold that I actually would continue to buy to this day, but I have issues with buying MLM products, like philosophically, is the Lash Boost serum from Rodan and Fields. It really worked for me. Now, here's the thing. You're buying things from people that aren't dermatologists. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm telling you all these fabulous things about Rodan and Fields skincare. I have no idea what these chemicals are that are in these products. And likewise with like Plexus and like Arbonne and It Works, like these healthcare supplements, people are selling them that are not nutritionists. They didn't go to school for they don't have any kind of science background, and they're telling you things that are going to be good for you. And I think that that can be really dangerous. So things that like go on that can like mess with your body. I think that that is so dangerous. Clothing, like LuLaRoe clothing, it's like, yeah, it might smell bad, might be kind of hideous prints, but at the end of the day, it's like they're just selling clothes. So to me, that's like relatively harmless. But the stuff that can like, I'm pregnant right now, and I've seen like Maddie Brush try to sell Plexus as like a pregnancy supplement. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's like a bad thing to take while you're pregnant, but I certainly don't know if it's a good thing to take while you're pregnant. And please do not listen to a Plexus salesperson. Listen to your OB if you want to consider taking something like that while you're pregnant. Like that just I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes me so nervous. My personal opinion, I will never purchase anything from an MLM. Their products aren't anything you can't find in a store. True. So the Lash Boost that I really like from Rodan and Fields, I think it's called Lash Boost. I actually found Grande Lash. It's sold at Ulta or Sephora. It works just the same. Now, the thing with like those kind of serums is it can like tint your lash line. You can have reactions to it. Everyone's body's different. Everyone's skin is different. So when I say I really like something, it worked for me, it might not work for someone else. And that's what's dangerous when you are selling like healthcare supplements and things like that. Arbonne stuff was nice, but too much money. And I'm someone that has no problem paying for quality. I actually got like a newborn like bath set, Arbonne bath set, and that lotion lasted till my daughter was like 2. It lasted forever. Do not take it while you're pregnant. Do not take it. Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know if it has caffeine in it, like you're supposed to limit your caffeine intake while you're pregnant. That's not to say you can't have any caffeine, but it's just definitely check with your OB. Hey Jet, so far we're kind of talking about MLMs, and we're going to be talking about subscriber content. I think there's a big difference between the MLMs and the subscriber content. And the thing about MLMs is, I was giving my own personal story of when I was sucked into an MLM. And so don't feel bad if you ever got sucked into one, because I think it happens to the best of us. You see like your friends on for me, it was my friends on Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, like she's making so much money. She's seemingly making so much money, and really it's all a lie. Excuse me. But with that being said, LuLaRoe is, hold on, sorry. So this is a good point, Sharon. None of those MLMs are FDA approved. Yeah, so I saw someone ask, I don't know where the question went. Oh, is Avon and Mary Kay an MLM? Yes. And traditionally you hear like Tupperware is probably Amway, I think, is like the original MLM. But Tupperware, you always kind of have like a nostalgia for that, right? It's like your mom or your grandma gathered all her friends and sold Tupperware. My mom has Tupperware from like the early 80s that she got at a Tupperware party. That's not to say that you can't buy a good product that came from an MLM company. It's just that the structure of MLMs, and I would highly recommend checking out, like, just type anti-MLM into YouTube and you'll go down the rabbit hole. There's some really good content. It's just that when the business structure is built on the highest compensation coming from recruiting people and not actually selling the product. People in the Lula Rich documentary talk about the fact that they were making like hardly anything actually selling the clothes. The recruiting of people is what was making them the tens of thousands of dollars a month. Like one gal was like a millionaire off of being one of the first LuLaRoe representatives. So that is absolutely wild. And it wasn't from selling the clothes, it was from recruiting people into the business. The thing with like Mary and Christine and some of the kids that are getting into MLMs is, so for me, when I joined, I'm talking to like my couple hundred Facebook friends, people that I know, people that I'm super uncomfortable trying to pressure into buying really expensive skincare. With the benefit that Christine and Mary, Janelle, and the kids have that are participating is that they have such large social media platforms that If someone says no, it's not someone you know. You're not pressuring grandma into joining your downline. It's just you're putting it out there to your followers and seeing who bites. So it's like no harm, no foul. That's why they are so successful, is because they have a built-in audience. This is a really good point, and I believe they address it in the LuLaRoe documentary, one of the LuLaRoe documentaries that I saw. You rarely hear about Black women selling that stuff. When I say that, like, I felt I probably was more or less the target audience, like 20 to 30s, white, sometimes I'm blonde. But they wanted definitely an aesthetic, and they wanted their reps to be spending their money on fancy cars and nice bags. And I think one of the like executive assistants or some account executive was an African American woman, and she was in the documentary, and she became a consultant, and she had a lot to say about how she felt very uncomfortable at times. And so I think that that is a really good point. I loved Plex's probiotics and became an ambassador. There wasn't a fee to do so, but I never pushed it on anyone and had an IG highlight dedicated to explaining my personal experience with Plexus. The people that I knew personally that sold LuLaRoe never tried to recruit me. I can only speak from my experience into joining them in LuLaRoe, but they definitely would sell me whatever. They would be like, "Oh, hey, I found such and such type of leggings. Did you want them?" Man, LuLaRoe was a fad for a while. You know how Stanley cups are now? The Stanley cups are the new LuLaRoe leggings. Oh, yes, Roberta Blevin's podcast called Life After MLM. It's eye-opening. I think Janelle should take a finance class and get sponsored by a bank. That would be good. Did you guys just see that Gabe donated his hair to charity? Like, could Janelle's kids get any more pure of heart and admirable? It's like they continually do things that it's just like, why are you the best of the best of us? You know? Deborah, I buy Tupperware from Bed Bath and Beyond. I just saw it at Target, but ages ago they had house parties with it, and I'm telling you, like I will inherit my mom's Tupperware that predates my existence. It's like it will outlive me, I am sure. But they certainly don't make things like they used to. I know my mom would try to pressure me into selling lemongrass spa to the people I went to high school with. That actually sounds intriguing. Pampered chef. Yes. Party light, candlelight. A lot of Black women sold Avon and Mary Kay. I knew my math teacher sold Mary Kay, and my mom and I like went over to her house once to get like a facial, but really it was like product demonstration. My math teacher. My Tupperware rep is a drag queen. Well, hey, I love watching him so much that I get sucked in and buy stuff. I hope that he is really successful. I watch his lives all the time. So I used to work for Verizon. You know, sales are sales at the end of the day. If you're focused on selling the product, I hope that he's really successful. And if you can be entertaining, I would absolutely, because you go to those parties, right? You go to Tupperware parties. LuLaRoe would have parties. All of them have these parties. And a lot of people dread going to them because they're like boring. And then you just get pressured into buying something. If it was entertaining and you felt fun and at ease and like you're amongst friends and you're not being sold something, it's just like, here, I have this stuff. Yes, Tupperware is at Target. I think so. Bed Bath and Beyond, Target. Someone said somewhere else that they've seen Tupperware. I'm part of, or I'm on Reddit, but I never post on Reddit. I just kind of read Reddit threads, and I follow the anti MLM subreddit, and the people are constantly posting where they see Tupperware being sold. I know. Like I want anyone selling me something to be like make me like I'm getting a new car this week. I had to place an order for it, and it has been a hair pulling out experience. I ordered a Honda. I used to drive a Honda. Best car ever, by the way, Honda Civics, love them. I ordered a Hyundai Palisade because I need something that will fit all of my kids and my dog. Um, anyways, the process of getting one of those cars, because it's like the hot car right now, is like absolutely ridiculous. You can't special order it. You like basically put a deposit down and they tell you when one's coming in. So anyways, regardless, I'm getting one this week. If it was someone like that was engaging and entertaining, that the experience would just be so much better. I am so thankful that I didn't have bad acne in high school because my mom tried to get me to use the lemongrass spa stuff. I've never heard of this. But speaking of acne, literally being pregnant has brings on acne for me. My brother and I had two completely different skin experiences. My poor brother suffered from acne. I would get the occasional breakout, but nothing super bad. Isn't that funny how, like, I mean, we have the same mom, same dad. We have completely different skin. My brother's skin is fine now, but yeah, in high school it was he went through it. I just looked online yesterday. Those things are selling like $100 a piece on Amazon for a cup. I think you're talking about the Stanley cups, and yeah, they are. Always check out Dick's Sporting Goods. Usually has a pretty decent selection, and I've noticed that like people don't typically check out Dick's Sporting Goods. Amazon, I've noticed they're always way more expensive. Um, of course, the Stanley website, but if you're looking for like those specialty colors, I've noted I got the neon green one, but they're huge, you guys. Like they're huge. Uncomfortable to hold in my opinion, but people love them. Anyways, I got the neon green one and I found it at Dick's Sporting Goods. So, uh, Gabe should have sold his hair. His mom needs my uh Gabe is just I saw her story or her reel and I reposted it and I was like cuz I saw like a picture of him from like a couple posts ago and I was like, "Oh, Gabe got a haircut." And she said, "Oh yeah, Gabe got a haircut." More to that story later. And to find out that he donated it, that's just so what a sweetheart. And he absolutely could have donated or sold it. He has really great hair. Cody won't be donating any hair ever. He's more concerned with getting his pencil wet with Robin. Well, from what I've seen, Cody is the way Cody parts his hair, it's clearly coming covering up areas on his head that don't have as much hair. So I don't think he's going to be parting with any hair. Honestly, over the course of 17 seasons, his hair the past couple of seasons aren't the worst in my opinion. There was a time where he kind of looked like a mad scientist when he originally pitched Flagstaff. He had this like really wiry hair, like looked like my 3-year-old when she gets up in the morning. It's like, wow. Oh, let's shout them out. The drag queen Tupperware rep is named D.W. Lay, Kevin Farrell. So look them up. Instagram. I'll leave this up for a second. I actually would go buy some right now. Janelle seems like she has real marketable skills, and she's logical most of the time. But honestly, if I could be half as logical as Janelle is most of the time, I would be so much further ahead in life, probably. I don't understand why she would do MLMs. Honestly, when you have hundreds of thousands of social media followers, maybe you have a product that you kind of like and enjoy, and you are, because a lot of these, I remember I had a friend that sold Shakeology, I think it was called. It was like the beach body stuff. And if you wanted to just buy it, it would be cheaper, I believe, if you signed up as like a rep, but you just never sold anything. So it's a lot of times you could like enjoy the product and become like a rep, but you're not really selling. So I'm sure maybe with Janelle, it's like, oh, she liked the product. And then she was like, oh, hey, I'm already kind of a rep. If people want to buy it, maybe I'll shill it to my hundreds of thousands of followers. And if you even get like 1% of your hundreds of thousands of followers, that's a lot. Still have my mom's Tupperware, over 6 years old. Yeah, that stuff. And it doesn't stain, probably because it's all in those kind of like muted colors, anyways. But I will put like, if dare I put spaghetti in like a Tupperware or a modern day Tupperware plastic storage now, it will be stained. Tupperware, my mom has put all kinds of soups and sauces and whatnot in hers, and they just don't stain. A lot of MLMs, like a lot of MLMs, are headquartered in Utah. There's it's it's definitely not a coincidence. Crafty Capricorn, I like that username. 99% of people in MLMs lose money. Yeah. If you can make back what you put in, you are ahead of the game. You are a rarity. I think you would be considered in the top like 5%. The key to MLMs is getting in early. If you hear of a new MLM, I don't want to teach anyone how to MLM, but you want to get in on the ground floor, because once the market is saturated, they had in the Lula Rich documentary, they had this man like explain, like, once the market is super saturated, you're selling to other reps, and you're never going to make any money. You're never going to recruit. There's no one left to recruit. I remember at the time that I was buying a lot of LuLaRoe, I had one friend from high school sold it, one friend from church sold it, another friend's like sister-in-law sold it. I had like 3 or 4 people that I knew selling to me. And it's like it's so oversaturated. I love reading on Reddit as well. I do. I want a new car. Did you pay full price or over sticker? I paid over sticker. I paid $2,000 over sticker for my car. I got the Hyundai Palisade. My husband, we just got him a Jeep. What's the truck called? Gladiator. And we paid $5,000 over sticker for his. Cars are insane. I have not bought a car in a very long time, and this was a completely out of body experience. Like, before, you could go in and a car would be like X amount of money, and you could say like, I will give you 1,000 less and we can call it a day. And usually they would be like, yeah, no problem. That is not how it is today. It is bananas, bananas. I just inherited all my mother's Tupperware. Love it. Ran late tonight. Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Lexa. Crazy Sister Wives news week. I have to admit, I'm getting a little overwhelmed with all the paid content. I don't have extra income for it all. I think too, like if, especially since it's all so far Christine's kids, if they like came together and had like maybe one Patreon, that would be considerate of the fandom that would probably want to subscribe that can't subscribe to everybody. That would be something to consider. But yeah, that's what you run into, oversaturating the market, right? If all 18 kids one day have subscriber content, you are literally going after your siblings' customers. So yeah, new car smells the best. Oh, this happened to me too. I got acne under the masks in COVID. Yeah, that happened to me as well. Oh, Cetaphil. I think I think my face wash is Cetaphil. Oh no, Dix is sold out right now. No. Emily D. Baker always knows where to get them. So that her like the law nerd community was like, check, Dix, check. I don't know. Is Sports Chalet still a thing? I don't even know if they're still a company. But check like sporting goods stores. And what do you think about the comments Isabel made about other wives not having rights after the divorce? I wonder if Cody pays child support to Truly. Sounds like he doesn't. I if if I were to bet money, I would bet that he is not paying child support. I think it's a really good point that Gwen brought up. Like I vacillate so much. Like I truly at my core am a live and let live mentality. That's kind of how I live my life. Um, as long as whatever you're doing doesn't negatively impact me. So for example, if like my neighbor would to put some obnoxious like lighting show in their yard year round, obviously I would probably have to say something. But if, my neighbor is, I don't know, doing yoga at 4 a.m. in their house. Do I care? Absolutely not. So, with that being said, regarding like polygamy, I wouldn't personally participate in a plural relationship, but if someone else wants to and it's consensual and everyone's of legal age, not for me to say no to. The thing with like the legality of it is like on the one hand, I get what Utah was trying to do, but yeah, there's all these women now that don't have protection under the law, and all these men that kind of just produced all these children and had all these wives, and a lot of these women are undereducated. They're not socially integrated a lot of times, and they're at a severe disadvantage when entering like the workforce and whatever you would deem normal society to be. So when you watch, and vice versa with the men too, I've watched so many episodes of Escaping Polygamy where you see these lost boys that come out of polygamy, and they're at severe disadvantages as well. But the women, very much so. Cody must be so jealous of Gabe's hair. Yeah. Savannah has such beautiful hair. Long, curly, thick. like you can tell my hair is so thin. I'm actually getting hair extensions for volume. My mom thinks I'm absolutely ridiculous, but my hair is very thin. Um, and just Savannah's full voluminous hair. I'm like, I'm so jealous. Do you think he pay? Yeah, no, I don't think he pays child support for Truly. And honestly, I think Christine probably is just grateful to not have to deal with him on like a day-to-day basis. I really feel like if it wasn't for the show, he probably would have no connection to much of his family at all. I think the show is what keeps them interacting even on a slightly minimal level. His comment, I could have stayed in Las Vegas. I could have saved a ton of money. No, Cody, you would have 3 wives leave you in one cul-de-sac. Yeah, and Janelle has made it clear that she does not mind living like divorced, but still living amongst everyone. Like Christine would not be down for that. I don't know if Mary would be down for that, but Janelle would be like, "Hey, I'm still here." And not because she gave a shit, but just because it's like, "Oh, this is my house. Like I'm not leaving just because we're not together anymore." How does Cody know the boys were having intimate relations? I don't know. He probably assumed. Not all people dating do. He has a nasty, dirty mind. Well, Cody probably is recalling what he was like at 19, 20, 21, however old Gabe and Garrison are now. And, he probably is projecting how he was onto his sons. And yeah, I don't think he has any frame of reference to go off of. That's what happened to me. I started taking the Plexus supplements as a customer. Then I signed up just because I had done so much for my health in 2017 just to get my own products. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, a discount. Yeah. That I like literally had friends who loved Shakeology Shake. I think that's what they're called. And signed up as like beach body reps. They like never did anything, but they just got the discount. Does anyone know Janelle's current living situation? I don't. I would like to know. Is she still renting an apartment in Flagstaff? She goes live. I've seen her go live from Coyote Pass. So I have no idea. We didn't really get into their separation very much. Like, separation, what does that mean? You've been separated for a few months. Did you move? What are you up to these days? There was a lot not touched on in the tell all, and a lot of focus on this dumb reconciliation storyline. But yeah, excuse me. I just burped. If anyone knows, let us know. I knew like 6 LuLaRoe reps. So many people sold it. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think. I definitely knew 3 that I made purchases from. I've not seen a sports chalet in years. That's like Sports Chalet, Circuit City, all these places that just don't exist anymore. Don't laugh. My roommate just bought a little tree that says new car smell, but it does not smell like a new car. That's like I have a fake Christmas tree and I always buy like the candles that are supposed to smell like Christmas trees. You can buy like things to put on the tree that are supposed to smell like Christmas trees and they never do. There's no substitution for that smell. My husband's car, because it's a Jeep, the top comes off, so the lining is all plastic. It had new car smell, or it still has new car smell, but it had a really strong plastic smell when we got it, and I could like not ride in it for for long periods of time. Now I can because the smell has like dissipated, but it was so strong. It would like assault you. Dear YouTube, can we please have a sarcasm? Ugh, I cannot speak. A sarcasm font. That would be really nice. I was listening to Emily Baker and heard her read a comment from you, and I was excited to see someone I know. Yes, she did read a comment from me once. I was like, ah! I think McKelty's Patreon has way more content from what you're getting from Gwen. It seems more worth it. I feel silly. I just noticed this. So usually I see Gwen. I'm subscribed to Gwen's Patreon and to McKelty's. I will see Gwen post, but then I see like videos on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, I'll just watch the video on YouTube. I didn't realize that she posts like way longer videos on her Patreon, and she kind of posts like a condensed version on her YouTube channel. So yeah, they kind of do different things. So Gwen is reacting to episodes, and she is posting like long form content on her Patreon. The one I just saw was almost an hour long, I think. And then she posts like a 20-minute version of that video on YouTube. So she's kind of tackling both genres, which I think is pretty cool. McKelty and Tony, they are thus far doing Patreon only, but they're doing different kinds of content on their Patreon. They did a live reaction. They're doing recorded, uploaded content, and I've seen a recipe at least. So I think they're doing something with cooking on there as well. I love Emily D. Baker too, and I'm so excited because we are getting Gavel to Gavel trial coverage coming this week because she's going to be covering the Murdoch murders. I was in Young Living and I was never pressured to sell or recruit, nor did I. I went to a Young Living like party, like pitch party, and I ended up buying some oils. The whole like process of oils was just not really my jam, but I know a lot of people that love essential oils. I think it should be legal so there could be protection and rules. Yeah. If Cody could get taken to the cleaners, it would be. And what is so rich to me is watching him try to like scare Christine by invoking the government. Like, oh, if we don't come to a custody agreement, the government is going to come in and take Truly away. Like, he thinks he can he thinks that she is the same like 20-year-old that he married, and she's not. Like, she is approaching 50 at that time. She has been out in the world. She is on a major TV show. She is not the same sheltered young woman you met all those years ago. It's so demeaning. She posted recently her car was snowed in, looked like an apartment parking lot. I had heard that Janelle might have moved to Utah, but I don't know. Do any of her kids live in Utah? Maddie's in North Carolina. Hunter is now in Vegas. Logan's in Vegas, right? There's so I mean it's a lot to keep up with all of the Brown children, and so I understand when everyone's constantly excusing Cody for because he has so many kids, but also like get a calendar. I don't know. if I were the girlfriends of Gabe and Garrison, that would immediately turn me off to my boyfriend's dad. Yeah, I would never want to be around Cody if I were either one of them's girlfriends. That would be awful. Wasted 17 seasons of me watching this nonsense. I mean, certainly wasted going into it thinking, like, okay, maybe polygamy is not for me, but like, they seem to have it figured out, which is how I felt when I first watched the show. And now it's like, wow, these people are a mess, like a mess. And then it makes me scared because there's like families like the Winders that I like from Seeking Sister Wives. And it's like, oh, I want to follow you guys, but I don't want to follow too closely because I'm just scared that it's all gonna fall apart for y'all. Oh, Lexa, thanks for the tip. You've had good luck with the cheap $5 Target candles that smell like Christmas trees. Awesome. I guess Isabel lives in Utah now and not with Maddie anymore. Yes, she confirmed that she is attending the University of Utah. Is that where Coach Shaw is a coach? I'm not sure. But anyways, she is attending the University of Utah. She's working. I'm not sure. I don't think she's living with Christine, but yeah, she's definitely back in Utah. I think Glade Hawaiian Breeze smells like a little like new car. I spray the upholstery in my car when I clean it. People always ask me if my 2017 Accord is new. It's the scent. Those plugins that go in your like air conditioner vents, I oftentimes get the Hawaiian, whatever the Hawaiian scent is, and I like it. Jet says, I'm surprised Tony wants anything to do with the Sister Wives madness. I am surprised as well. I'm surprised for how cold of a reception he got when he came into the family. I am surprised that he goes so hard supporting Tony, supporting Cody. He is big team Cody, and both he and McKelty are majorly very ardent supporters of Robin, and it's like, so just take everything with like that lens, because that is where they're coming from. They're definitely big fans of Cody and Robin. Does Patreon charge a different speed based on who the content creator is? So as far as I know, the content creator sets the price for what they're going to charge, and you can have like different tiers, kind of like with YouTube memberships. You can, like, on this tier you will get X, Y, and Z, and on this tier you might get X, Y, and Z plus blah 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 blah. But as far as I know, I think that the content creator sets the price and then Patreon takes a percentage of the price. So I'm not sure if they take a different fee. You meant fee. I'm not sure if they do not set the price. The content creator sets the price. Having twins changes everything. I can only imagine. My mother-in-law is a triplet. Like her birth made the local paper when she was born, because it was like, triplets, and they survived, and they're in a small town, and it was really exciting. And I have been terrified that I would have multiples. And there's definitely only one in here right now. I only have my one daughter. So very thankful to just be doing one at a time. I have a friend that I went to high school with who just had twins. I have to check in with her because I think she was like, Life's crazy. Life is crazy. I can't afford both, so I chose Gwen. And as for Peyton and John Yates, that to me was not fun and 3 whole hours too much. I did see Reddit come hard for McKelty. It wasn't good or nice. I think, people dislike Robin so much that when you show Robin some grace, it tends to not go over well. But here's the thing, and I made this comment a couple of videos back. I don't know how much the family actually like. So McKelty and Tony say that they don't watch the show. All of the members of the family that now are producing content are watching the show for the first time. They say historically they have not watched the show. And then we know that they're also like not that close with certain family members. So it's like I kind of feel like us as the viewers know more about what's going on with certain family members than they do. And yeah, so it's like if McKelty is going to comment on something and she hasn't talked to someone in, I don't know, 2 years or something, then yeah, people are going to, you know, side eye her a little bit and go, what? I'm surprised people can put their kids on TV and not pay them. I think this was a huge, I never super followed the Duggars, but I think this was a super hot topic regarding Jim Bob kind of controlling the purse strings of what got disseminated to the family. I have no idea how Cody and the women have decided to disperse money to their kids, if they have dispersed any money to the kids. The kids have not said that they've been like, I don't know, like gypped out of any money. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't blame them for taking matters into their own hands and saying like, "Hey, I didn't make anything hardly, and I was on this TV show for so many years, and now I can share my story. People want to hear my story, and I can, fund my lifestyle with it or what have you." Will Cody take on more wives for a storyline? I wouldn't wish that on any woman. I would hope that if he does, that whoever has seen the show and knows what they're getting into. But I don't know. Robin says that he says no, but Robin says that she's open to it. And I think it would ultimately come down to if Robin would allow it. They have to have some sort of storyline to keep people wanting them on the show, because the show could absolutely not have Cody and Robin anymore and just follow like Janelle, Christine, and Mary doing their own things, following the kids, what they're up to. And people would watch that. I would watch that. It's hard to listen to Peyton. I saw the long version. I did. I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it for a while, but every once in a while he said offensive, sexist stuff. At least Gwen was palatable. Yeah, I think Peyton is a victim of being just given so much of an open platform, like just say anything and everything. And he did. And he didn't have anyone, like nobody on the panel was like trying to reel him in or trying to keep it on topic. And that I thought that kind of did a disservice to him. But yeah, he did say stuff that I was like, oh, that no, 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 no. Don't say that. She should be near Christine and her family. Poor Janelle, like all of her kids live all over the place. Christine's kids are concentrated for the most part. So that's good for Christine. All right, let's do a couple more comments. Season 18 to feature Leon's wedding. Well, season 15, we did see them go venue shopping. They were not part of season 17 at all. So I don't know if they're going to participate in future seasons, but I was really wanting a wedding so bad. I thought we were going to get one, and then COVID. So does Cody sell guns for a living? He at least, yeah, gun accessories. Yes, Coach Shaw is University of Utah. Thank you. Tony used to be a huge critic of Cody's. Now he's indoctrinated too. Yeah. When they go over to Cody and Robin's and they're sitting there with the camper that's like in the background, Tony makes faces like, is this dude for real? Like when Cody speaks, where I'm like, oh yeah, Tony gets it. He gets it. But then watching the Patreon content, it's like, I don't know if Robin is in McKelty's ear, like, make us look good or whatever, but Tony is definitely um catering for that, I don't know, invite to Thanksgiving next year because he is certainly team Cody. Do you think Cody thinks the adult kids are most likely to return to Arizona as their home base, or does he even care? Well, from what Peyton said, like they don't have any family in Arizona, so none of the kids consider Arizona to be like a home base, I don't think. I think Janelle's kids are leaning more towards Vegas, and Christine's kids are leaning more towards Utah, which is where they have a considerable amount of family. So I don't think, I mean, they all moved. It's been confirmed now. Like the move was for Dayton, and Dayton did not want, according to Peyton, he did not want mom to like accompany him to college. That was all Robin's helicopter momming. So let's do one more comment or question. Oh God, your daughter might have twins. I did after my father's mom's side. Well, that's her problem. just kidding. I know it won't be me because I'm getting my tubes tied after this baby. Let's wrap up with this one. McKelty has daddy issues. I think every child in that family has issues because of Cody. That's her deal, and her husband is supporting her. So I'm happy that he supports his wife, basically. Yeah, I mean, and y'all, they have to buy diapers. Well, Avalon's still in diapers because she's like not even 2 years old. They have to buy diapers for 3 kids. So they're going to put out that Patreon content if people will sign up for it. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I will be back next Monday live. And we have a new season of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way starting next week. I will be covering that Don't worry, Sister Wives content and coverage will continue as usual. We're just going to add more to the family. MILF Manor, I watched the second episode. It does not get better. It is super uncomfy vibes. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So I don't know. I don't know what TLC is thinking with that one. But I am excited for Extreme Sisters, 90 Day Fiancé. Got some good stuff in the works. So take care, you guys. Have a good one. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.